live at Onigashima. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Jimmy, and I have chapter 1160, The God Valley Incident. Oh my god, we're finally here. We knew we were getting it last chapter, but oh my god, we really got into it in this one. So fuck the cover story as usual. We're skipping right past it. Yeah. Who cares about that? When we got celestial dragons cheering for the death of 2-year-olds, we got Dragon doing a bunch of cool shit in this chapter. So I'm ready to get right into it, honestly.
All right, yeah, let's get right into it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and tell us all your theories in the comments. There's some spicy stuff. We got more Davy Clan stuff right at the beginning. So I think, okay, so they're putting up the Davy Clan members. Saturn's like, oh, good job, or whatever. And then we see Dragon take off. That's actually like Shanks's mom. It looks like later in the chapter, Dragon gets like Shanks and Shamrock. So I was kind of like, I had a little dissonance there about like the paneling or whatever from last chapter.
Yeah, it is Teach. A little bit weird because it looks like he pulled up on Teach last chapter. Then we see Teach again here, and then it shows Dragon helping out a mom. But then it's like Teach is kind of watching the celestial dragon stab people.
Yeah, he's like,
it seems like Dragon is like off to the side helping this woman. So I think it's just him like finding Shanks's mom right before she like actually dies, even though she got shot, which like you said makes sense with later in the chapter when we see him randomly holding these 2 kids and just running through everything. But
yeah, for sure.
I think the cool part about that is watching Dragon save Shanks is we know at some point that Shanks is going to end up in one of the chests, right? Because that's how he's going to get onto onto Roger's crew. But which one of these chests is he going to go? And I don't think it's going to be a random one. I think it's going to be one of these like chests we see in the background here with the devil fruit. And I wonder if that's how Dragon gets his devil fruit. Does he like take a devil fruit out of here, eats it, and then leaves Shanks in here? Because I mean, we've all been speculating on his devil fruit. Is this the backstory where we see what that devil fruit is finally? Because that would be crazy.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Like we see Kaido later being like, "Big Mom, are you gonna give me a devil fruit, man?" Like they're talking about it, you know. So I feel like we're all expecting them to be. We know at least 2 of them are devil fruits, and like that's kind of what Ivankov implied, anyways, before that. He knew like all of them were devil fruits. Who knows? They could be other things, but I like this theory of Dragon gets his devil fruit here. I really do think it's going to be the wind one. I mean, that's speculation for another time, I guess, but
I mean, some devil fruits we know it's not, which I thought before maybe it could have been just because we didn't see them in the past, but we see Gunko and Summers in this chapter again, and both of them already have their devil fruits, so we know it's neither of those 2 devil fruits. So I wonder then, like, let's say, because theoretically the Gods Knights are supposed to be winning this tournament, they start getting these devil fruits to give to them. Who are they going to give these devil fruits to? Do they have like offspring that they want to give them to? Is there other people in these families that they want to give them to?
Gods Knights for the most part. Like I wouldn't be.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like some of them have it already
or something. You know, like we haven't seen his yet. Like if Keelan Dom's fruit is there, I do like the idea. So one of the things that we talked about last chapter was how are all these people like getting off the island? And so Dragon is like pretty much defected from the Marines, like right here. You know what I mean? Like his whole platoon gets killed, and they're like looking for him. So like he's kind of in the hot seat right now. And so like him getting a wind fruit, I think that would be enough of a way for him to just like wisp away, you know. And it's not like this is where he starts the revolutionary army right now and he like gets a lot of people out. Like he doesn't necessarily have to do that. He can just like get himself out, because Ivankov and Kuma, like they got out and like through Kuma's fruit, and Ivankov like later went to go with Dragon. So like that could be a clue that Dragon just like escapes by himself. Like maybe we know that like Shamrock eventually goes to the celestial dragons, right? So like assumedly he gets left here, Shanks gets left in a chest, and then what, Dragon just like leaves?
That's the other thing I'm curious about too, because Shamrock, like you said, we know goes to the God Knight, but we clearly saw that Garling doesn't give a fuck about Shamrock. He like clearly shot his mother and then left him there. So like who ends up picking up Shamrock later to go to the Gods Knights? Like I like how does he get there?
I think it still could be Garling. Like Garling could be like, all right, you evil son, you will be the one now that you've survived this horde. Like, I don't know. Maybe Garling has some kind of like character moment here where he loses his fight or something, or maybe he's like more determined in being a piece of shit after fighting somebody, and then he like picks up the baby. He's like, you know what? Actually, we're gonna be evil. Saturn says we can do experiments on kids and stuff too. So I wouldn't be surprised if they also made him like, how they did with Bonnie, like they fed her like some, the essence of the thing or whatever, like oil of the fruit to test it on her. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Shamrock was also like kind of a test tube baby.
Damn, and even after being a test tube baby, he's still this loyal to them. That's insane. Yep, he really is just as big of a piece of shit as his father.
he is. I mean, we'll see. I guess more Shamrock later. Like he's an interesting part. I want to go back real quick to kind of like the beginning of the chapter, where we see potentially Tisha's mom, but I don't know. I'm not convinced yet. This could just be like anybody.
I feel like that's Tisha's mom.
I will say like her hair kind of looks like Rox's hair a little bit, so like that might be a hint that they're just like, actually that's.
I just don't see why they would bother like having another woman like hold like teach like this. I just don't think she's gonna end up being that important. I do think there's more than just.
She could be Boogie's mom too, or whatever. The point that I'm actually more so going towards is like I think there are probably more Davy Clan members here.
Yeah, so I was gonna say that also. I agree.
Yeah, because they said like, oh, we got a bunch of Davy Clan members, and if it's just like 2, then I don't know. I feel like there's more to it. There's this one guy with a straw hat up here, weirdly.
Well, I think I noticed that also. It reminded me of the fake Luffy in Post-Sabaody, actually. But I mean, they say here there's like what 13 super rare rabbits. We know 2 of them are the Davy Clan because Ticha and his mom. We know one of them is Kuma. So we don't really know who the other 10 are, and they could just be more of the Davy Clan members. I wouldn't be surprised because
we didn't see any,
Yeah. I mean, we kind of know that Kuma was like the last of the Buccaneers too, right? That's like what his dad was saying before in his backstory.
I don't know if they're like the last, but they said that they were like pretty sparse. Like I think there could be a world where they just like didn't show him, but I'm more inclined to think that like, I mean, these Davy Clan members like look. I mean, Tish doesn't really look normal to be honest, but like if this other lady that's holding him was a Davy Clan member, she looks like relatively normal. I mean, Rox doesn't look like that unnormal. He's got the weird hair. He's got like
I mean, for One Piece standards, he's definitely not.
For all intents and purposes, he's just like a human size, right? Like he's like a human. So like, if the Davy Clan members are just like straight up human blood, and like it's just in name, like how the D Clan members are, being passed down, and they're just being persecuted by not specifically like a look. Like I could totally see there being a bunch more Davy Clan members rather than Buccaneers. I feel like we would have seen them walking around at least.
Yeah, and I mean, it makes sense too. Like when Rox was talking to Harold last chapter, he was like, oh yeah, the rest of the Davy Clan will be there. He didn't necessarily say like, oh, we are the last of the Davy Clan. And he kind of implied that there was going to be more than just like them 3. Plus on top of that, well, technically, do we even know that Teach's mom is actually part of the Davy Clan? Because if it, like, he did just marry like Rox, they could have just like, married outside of the clan and then got inherited into the clan.
Yeah,
she might not necessarily have the bloodline.
Yeah, no Uchiha stuff going on.
Yeah, no inbreeding. They're not the Celestial Dragons.
No, they're not. But speaking of Celestial Dragons, we see them kind of being pieces of shit again, of course.
Bro, we said it last chapter. If you didn't hate them enough, you better hate them even more now. Like, holy shit.
More and more. Like, Summers? Dude, come on, man.
Bro, like, I think that was one of the things that I thought was, like, the worst in this chapter, is watching him just look at this kid on the thing and just knocking him into the thorns while just, like, laughing about it right in front of his dad's face. Like, it's so brutal.
It is brutal, dude. And, like, I understand, like, Dragon, like, throwing up later and, like, going, oh my god, like, this is horrifying. And then it's nice to see him. He gets his first feat, right? He puts a Celestial Dragon to sleep. So,
I guess that technically is a feat. I don't know if that's saying much.
First dragon feat. No, but the other, like, the Gods Knights were all fucking shit up. Like, I want to talk about Gunko a little bit because, like, So they're just making more of a point to kind of like show her little by little. Like she's house man mayor is what it says here. So we know the other man mayor is like that kid we saw talking to her in the last chapter. Like that kid's a man mayor. And you know they were talking, so it kind of makes sense. But in addition to that, she looks like the same age again, and we kind of knew this from when we saw her with Emu earlier in the Rocks flashback when he like infiltrates the Holy Land and like the flower room. But I don't know, it's just like they keep on putting Gunko in the front of things, and they're being like, yo, Gunko, you are like one of the strongest here for sure.
Yeah.
Like Gunko I think should not be underrated. I mean, obviously she's just killing a bunch of civilians here, which is bullshit, but
I will say that, like you mentioned, like she didn't really age. Like we saw everyone else in this flashback kind of age. Like we know Garling gets old, we know Summers gets old, but why not like Gunko? Like I wonder why she's special, and I wonder if they did like experiment on her too, because I feel like the running theory right now is she was somebody in Brooke's past. Like we don't necessarily know the relation that got captured, right? And maybe when she got captured, they started running these different experiments on her. And maybe that's one of the reasons she doesn't age. Maybe they used like
the timeline still lines up, you know, because like Brooke is so old that like even like she could have gotten experimented on at that point in her life, like way back then.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is like if this now when she looks this young was 39 years ago. Look at all the other characters in this flashback that like look young, right? Like Dragon gets older, Garp gets older, Rayleigh, Roger, every one of these characters like ages significantly, except she kind of looks the same. Her hair actually, the only thing is like it gets shorter. So there's, I feel like there has to be something there.
Yeah, 100%, dude. So I don't know. I'm excited to see more of her. Obviously, we're gonna get way more when we get that flashback because she's being possessed right now and is like the main threat, pretty much. But we're still like not even a little bit into the God Valley incident. Like I feel like we definitely got like 3 chapters left, maybe 2 chapters left of like just the God Valley incident, because this is just like the introduction that we saw before but more fleshed out, right? We're like, oh, we see the Rocks pirates now, but now we just see Rocks at the forefront of it. It's like the same kind of like thing that we saw but like zoomed out.
Besides the stuff with Dragon, a lot of this stuff is kind of stuff we knew already, right? It like we knew the Gods Knights were there killing people. We knew the Rocks pirates showed up. We knew the Roger pirates showed up after, and we knew Garp shows up. So like all of this is really just the beginning and showing what we know just in a little bit more detail. But to bring up Garp real quick, is he not the biggest fraud out of everybody here? Like how is he coming here and he's starting to protect like some of the celestial dragons? I've seen some people like online saying like, oh, well, if you think about it from his position, maybe like he's still kind of innocent at this point. He doesn't really know better. Like he doesn't maybe know what the
He even said like to Sengoku before Sengoku was like, oh, Roger is there. He was like, oh, I don't want to go to see the Celestial Guardians like little game. Like he's not going to protect them. He's going because he wants to fight Roger. It's like purely selfish at this point in time. Like I don't know, Garp stocks are going down because we see how piece of shit these guys are, and we knew this, right? Like the whole conundrum with Garp is like that he chose his form of justice that can like protect more people or whatever, right? Because the world government like objectively is like the world's largest power, and they do a lot of quote unquote net good because pirates are the ones that like have overtaken the land in most civilian minds, you know? Like most civilians don't have to deal with this crazy shit. It's just every once in a while it's like whatever. So like in his mind it's like that. But I don't think that's an excuse, especially seeing him here now. Like this is like one of the worst atrocities we've ever seen in One Piece. And like he's just
and we know this happens. Like they say it's like, oh, it usually happens every like 2 years or something like that. I forgot the exact timeline. But this is not like a super rare thing. Like this happens decently frequent. Which makes you then think like, what other islands have they done this on? And I've seen people throw out the idea also.
And that he's known about.
Yeah. So like, I mean, and Garp's kind of been a Marine for a minute now. Otherwise, Dragon wouldn't be a Marine here while he's in his teens, right?
Yeah, like so Dragon, first time he sees this shit, he's like, no, absolutely not. So like, I want him to have in later, and I'm sure it's gonna happen at some point, where Dragon and Garp come into contact and have some kind of like not like necessarily a battle, but just like a battle of morals. And I think that's gonna like really propel Dragon into like the start of his character, and then also Garp, like it's gonna give more perspective.
Yeah,
on
I hope we see a little bit of that in this flashback, honestly. If like right before Dragon like leaves the island, he kind of like yells at Garp and is like, "How can you support this type of thing?"
Yeah, it's pretty. I don't know. It definitely makes for interesting character development, especially amongst the monkey family. The main family of our protagonists. I feel like Dragon being kind of the most interesting piece in this is what makes this more interesting in general. Like this is kind of like Marineford level, like people, if not more, coming here and battling. Like we've never seen this many strong characters in one place at once. You know what I mean? And that we know that they're gonna fight. So the main character's dad and grandpa kind of being like centerpieces, and the king of the pirates, obviously.
I mean, literally everybody important is here.
Shanks, everyone is here, literally.
Like, yeah, even Shanks and Blackbeard as kids are here. Even Buggy's somewhere in the background, right? He has to be here.
He's gotta be. Dude, he's gotta be. I know Buggy's on the island, bro. I know that's gonna be like a huge. They drop him, they're like Buggy, and then we're gonna jump out of the flashback, and Luffy's gonna interrupt this whole story that Loki's telling. He's be like, "What? No, he wasn't supposed to be there." In the cool story. No way, dude.
Yeah. One last thing I wanted to focus on in this chapter was just the Rocks Pirates introduction again, because I know we kind of got a similar panel like this before, but it's just so cool to see them all there, and then kind of see all of their different one-liners to show off their personalities. And the one I thought was really interesting was like from Rocks himself, because he literally says like, "Hey, work together. There's no point in killing each other right now. We'll like fix it up, like we'll divvy it up later, right?" But I mean, everyone here assumes that Rocks is going to get betrayed in this, so I think this is kind of just foreshadowing that he's going to get betrayed here by somebody in his crew. And I think we could probably tell from like these interactions, like the different people that might have done it. Like clearly it's not going to be Whitebeard. It doesn't seem like it's going to be Big Mom or Kaido either. Like it seems like it's going to be one of those other background characters.
I think so. I think it's going to be Captain John, because we know all this stuff about Captain John's treasure and stuff, and he was one of the main ones besides the guys we knew that we did get kind of a silhouette for beforehand. Like in the other flashback or whatever.
That's what I was thinking. It was gonna be him too, because of like what he said. He's like, it's just whoever hauls in the most treasure. So maybe Rocks is gonna have a lot of stuff, and he betrays Rocks to take that, which is how he gets Captain John's quote unquote treasure, right? So I think it's probably gonna be him also, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. The last thing I wanna just hit real quick is the reveal of all the Gods Knights here. Like there's ones that we haven't seen before, right? There's this one guy that kind of looks like Who's Who a little bit. He's got the horns and everything, and he's like tall or whatever. I don't know if there's really any connection there, but who knows? And then this guy in the back, I kind of want to talk about. He's like, definitely not a human. Like I know we had talked about like why the heck non-humans allowed in the ranks of like celestial dragons.
It could be a devil fruit thing, kind of like Keeling Gum. Which I was thinking one of these people could also be Keeling Gum, because I don't think, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think we've seen his human form yet, right?
No, but he would look like pretty similar, I would imagine.
To that dragon thing?
That's
a pretty weird devil fruit.
No, I mean, he to his hybrid form. I mean, like his face and his hybrid form would look like kind of similar. The only person that looks like sort of kind of similar is like, I mean, maybe the guy in the top right. I don't think so. Or maybe the girl in the bottom left, and maybe there's like a whole.
Well, I was thinking it could be the guy in the top right. Like maybe that's a younger version of him. But
it could be. Yeah, it might be. I mean, we don't know. Like, do he have horns though? Like, what's that all about?
Maybe ripped him out like Harold. But no, that's a good point.
Right.
So either, I mean, either that's him or he's just not here. And in which case, when does he join up?
Right.
So
I mean, this is a big spot, like we said. Like one of his fruit could be here. I mean, I can't see right now. He's probably like also one of the most broken people on Elbaf, right? Because that fruit is nuts. So I can see that being like one of the, the ones here. Also, a lot of the ones we know that they're giving out mythical zones. So, could be. We don't know. We'll see.
Mythical zone that could be, or what about the Nika Nika fruit?
Could be. Never know. Well, let us know your theories in the comments, because I'm sure you guys have all kinds of theories about what fruits could be there. Maybe the op fruit. Who knows?
Maybe, but probably not. But maybe.
The chop fruit.
Yeah, this is how Buggy gets his fruit. Just kidding, because we see him eat it. But
nah, he doesn't.
But yeah, let us know your theories in the comment. There's only really one bad thing about this chapter, and it's not even a fault of this chapter.
Nah, it's not its fault.
But there's a break next week. So sad.
Not a break. Well, it's good content to chew on, y'all. Let's hear those theories in the comments. Drop them below, because I really want to know how people are taking this, because there's a lot of avenues, and now dragon stocks are big up. So
Dragon no longer a bum.
No longer a bum. Garp, full bum.
Full bum status, Garp. Alright, y'all.
All right.
Peace out.
Peace.